So spring training is always fun. We get to see the team's top stars for the first time in a few months, and we also get to see the team's top prospects. But we also get to see a little bit of competition, and that usually comes in the form of the bullpen. And one guy has definitely made his case for making the opening day roster, and that is Max Kranick. So today we're going to break down Kranick's spring so far and whether or not he has a chance of cracking the opening day roster when the team starts their season in Houston later this month. First off, let's talk about Max Kranick and why suddenly he has a chance to make the Mets bullpen. The 26-year-old came over to the Mets 2 years ago after a bit of a rocky start to his career. Originally drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates, Kranick showed promise as a starter, but injuries and inconsistencies held him back from securing a spot in their rotation. In 2022, Kranick appeared in 2 games for the Pirates, tossing 5 scoreless innings, but he would then require Tommy John surgery and miss the entire 2023 season. The Pirates would DFA Kranick, but the Mets invited him to spring camp in 2024, where after a short showing, the Mets decided to outright him off the 40-man roster. But this spring, Kranick has definitely opened some eyes. So far, Kranick has thrown 7 scoreless innings in the Grapefruit League, allowing just 4 hits while striking out 8 and hasn't issued a walk. And on Friday, he put together another fantastic outing, tossing 1 2/3 innings of scoreless ball against the Nationals, coming in relief in the middle of the inning. So the Mets bullpen right now looks like Edwin Diaz, Reed Garrett, Jose Butto, Ryan Stanek, and Dedno Nunez and A.J. Minter. The last of those 2, though, with injury concerns as they haven't made an appearance this spring, which may open up another spot in the Mets pen this year. But if everything goes to plan, the Mets have 1 spot remaining in their bullpen, and it's probably going to be between Danny Young, Huascar Brazoban, Sean Reed-Foley, Yenesis Cabrera, and Max Kranick. Danny Young and Yenesis Cabrera are left-handers. In fact, Young is the only other left-hander aside from A.J. Minter on the 40-man roster, so he has some built-in security in case the veteran Minter is not ready to go to begin the season, but I really don't see him or Cabrera making the roster unless A.J. Minter's not ready to go. And then you have Huascar Brazoban, who last year was solid with the Marlins, but after getting traded to the Mets was not super reliable. An ERA over 5 in 19 appearances with the Orange and Blue, and was actually optioned to AAA in September. One thing that Kranick has that is not working in his favor is a minor league option. The Mets could choose to use that and send him down to AAA Syracuse while they evaluate what they have in a guy like Danny Young or Brazoban, rather than just letting them simply walk to another team through waivers. Kranick's a great story. He's from Pennsylvania originally, grew up a Mets fan, and has definitely had some adversity. And I would love to see him be on the team, but unfortunately, he may be a victim of the numbers game. I've always believed this should be the best 25 or now the best 26 on a roster at any given time. But with the influx of injuries to pitchers both in the rotation and the bullpen, the Mets and every MLB team needs to be super hyper aware about how they manage their pitching depth. So while I think Max Kranick is deserving of being on the Mets roster, I don't think the team is going to break camp with him. Instead, I think it's going to be a guy like Huascar Brazoban, Danny Young, or maybe even Yenesis Cabrera, depending on the health of A.J. Minter and Dedno Nunez. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think Max Kranick should come up north with the Mets to start the season? If not, who should be in his place? And how are you feeling about the Mets bullpen as a whole at this point in spring training? 18 days away from opening day. Let's go Mets.